it? I'm tired. You said the
They
wrong
both
mix.
start with T.
No, you were
I'm
wrong.
gonna say count it.
Yeah, it's not counted.
I'm
you
also.
lose.
I win the game.
You do not win the game.
We'll see you next time on
You do not win the game.
Musicals
all right?
v. Movies.
So, listen, guys.
This is going swimmingly. Can you imagine if they ever went into couples counseling? This is what they'd be saying. You didn't win. I did win. You didn't win. I did win. That just sums it all up. Hey guys, we're finally back and we're going to do another reaction to Colleen's Relax podcast, but her at least one, if not more than one suggestion I got, I'm actually going to watch what I believe is their first episode ever, just so we can kind of see if there's any noticeable changes or differences in how Colleen and Erik interact with each other and just kind of watch where it all started. So this should be very interesting.
Colleen and Erik have a podcast. The world is scary and we're locked in our home, but now we have big microphones, so you can relax. That's the name of the
Different
podcast.
jingle.
Hello, everyone.
Slightly.
I'm Colleen Ballinger.
I'm Erik.
And this is
Relax.
our
Oh,
first...
I thought we were gonna say the name.
Oh, yeah, this is Relax. We're doing so well. This is our first episode of our
Starting
podcast,
strong.
Relax.
Wow.
This is very exciting.
Exciting.
Yeah, we've never done a podcast before, so this is...
We've never spoken.
No. It feels like we don't some days.
Right.
Not because we don't like each other, but because we're kind of busy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we're excited. If you are curious
He's
what
like,
this podcast...
yeah, no, actually, it's because we don't like each other. And I forgot to explain, I am having one of my favorite concoctions that I thought up a little while ago. It is chocolate strawberry oatmeal. I will do gingerbread oatmeal or chocolate strawberry. Those are usually the only two I'll ever care to make. I do it from scratch, but I use Quick Oats, and it's the easiest thing ever. So if you want to know how I do that, let me know. But anyway, that's what I'm nomming.
podcast is, so are we. We basically were just like, hey, we don't get to hang out enough, so let's do a podcast. And then we have to hang out, right?
Yeah, well, we had also at that point been locked down in our house pretty intensely for 5 months.
Right.
Had this idea.
And then try to make it happen.
And then 5 months later, it's happening. Mm-hmm. Still locked in our house.
Yes. And we still don't know what it is. I'm just kidding. No, we're really excited about this. We want to play lots of weird games. We want to...
I do feel like there was a weird arc with COVID where like everything was terrifying. No one knew anything about anything. And then we all stayed shut in our houses, assuming that might help. And maybe it did. I have no idea. I don't care to give any commentary on COVID. But I do feel like later on in COVID, when lockdown type things were still happening, but it was no longer this brand new scary thing, I feel like there was a stage of COVID where everyone's like, I am done. I am done with this. Get me out of this stupid house. So can you imagine Colleen and Erik?
want to talk about our careers and the things we've experienced. And Erik has this crazy idea of rewatching all of Haters Back Off together with you guys.
I think so. I think that'd be great because who knows more behind the scenes stories than the creator and star?
Not many
and
people.
Writer.
I think I might know
Composer?
more. I'm not the composer.
I don't know what you did.
Well,
I'm very curious if that was actually his idea. I don't fully believe that that was his idea. And also, the way he says the star, he's not saying it in like an admiring way. Like when I don't even know how to explain what my husband does, but he's just a brilliant guy who does a lot of software development. And anytime I'm talking about what he does, I'm very proud of him. Even if I don't understand it, I'm very proud of him. And I think it's just amazing how his brain works. And Erik here, he doesn't sound proud at all, which is interesting.
Well, anyway, yeah, we will rewatch Haters with you guys. We're going to do a lot of audience participation with you guys. So make sure you're following us on all the things that you can follow us on.
Yeah, we got to get some of your fans on here.
Yes.
And like interviews with people we know.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. We're going to do lots
cool.
of fun stuff.
We could solve.
Can you imagine if they did that? Did they do that? I don't think they did. Can you imagine? And she probably just had her life flash before her eyes right there.
Crimes?
In a bad way.
Cold cases? Investigate. I think that's popular on podcasts.
I've heard that's popular, and I think that's covered. I think you and I would do a terrible job with that, so we're not going to do that.
Well,
No, Colleen. It's because you realize you would be the star of your own crime podcast if you started that. So that's why you don't want to do that, I bet. Anyway, maybe that's not it, but.
if it comes up.
So, yeah, we are very excited to do this podcast. But in case there's anyone out there who does not know who we are, since it's the first episode, I feel like it makes sense that we would introduce ourselves a little bit and talk about who we are and where we came from and all of the interesting things about our lives. So basically this episode is the most narcissistic episode because it's basically just us bragging about ourselves, and we're playing fun games and doing other things too. But we're going to talk all about ourselves.
Yeah, and times have not changed much. I will say, if nothing else, she's extremely consistent on bragging about herself, whether or not it is earned or deserved. Not that anyone should brag, but there's some people in the world where it's like, okay, if anyone's going to brag, it makes sense for it to be you. Colleen, I'm sorry, you don't fall into that category. But she hasn't gotten that memo yet.
Which I feel uncomfortable doing, even though like that's been most of my career. Is just
Right. I was just going to say, isn't that kind of your job?
Yeah, pretty much. If you follow me on the internet, you kind of already know about my career. But in case you don't, I'm going to tell you. And in case you do follow me on the internet and you already know about my career, you get to hear the story all over again.
Because I love talking about
I don't really know where to
myself.
start. My life has been so weird. I don't know where to start. I was born on a No, I grew up in Santa Barbara, California, and then I was like a weird little homeschooled kid who loved theater, and I wanted to have a career in theater. And so in college, I started creating this character right when YouTube was created. I created this character called Miranda Sings, who was cocky and couldn't sing but thought she could sing, and some of my videos went viral, and so I kind of took advantage of that and started.
What year was this?
I don't know if she explained it in this podcast episode, but didn't she say it was based off of all the annoying kids that she was around in her theater realm? Kids that thought that they were amazing, but she did not think that they were amazing, and she just wanted to make fun of them because I'm assuming it was like they were the cool, popular ones, and she was never the popular one, but she also didn't think they were that talented, so she's like, I'll just make a character that is them, and I will actively be paid to make fun of these people for the rest of my adult life.
2007 was the year that I created Miranda Sings.
And the word YouTuber didn't exist then,
No,
right?
so I was not making YouTube videos to like, it's so weird. People now want to be a YouTuber. Like people now are
I
like,
think if you ask like a middle school class, like if a teacher asked them like, what do they want to be when they grow up? I feel like a lot of them would write.
right, which is so weird to me.
Crazy.
It's so crazy because when I started uploading videos to YouTube, first of all, I didn't know what a viral video was. When my first video went viral, I thought something was wrong with my computer. Like my sister-in-law called me and said, your video went viral. And I thought that meant I was like hacked. Like I didn't even know what that meant.
Right.
That makes sense.
What's
So-
viral? Sorry, the number of views. What's like a viral video in 2009?
2009 was the year my first video went viral. 2007 was when I created Miranda, but I was just making these videos as this character for like a year and a half, and suddenly one day, one of my videos got 70,000 views. And to me, that was
Wow.
crazy. And it was crazy back then. But now that's like nothing.
Would that be nothing now?
If I only got 70,000 views on a video, I would be like, oh no, my career's over.
Oh no, your career's over.
That's a lot of people though, so I'm not scoffing at that number. I just compared to what is popular now and what views are now. But anyway, I got a viral video and it was very popular in the Broadway community. So I went to New York and I met lots of people out there. I performed for the first time. I just kind of started booking myself all over the world, kind of just randomly calling places in my young 20s, just being like, I'm Miranda Sings' manager and I would like to book her at your club.
Did you really do
I
that?
did, and I would mess up because I would email people and be like, this is Miranda Sings' publicist and I have a show that I would like to perform. Like I would like accidentally say both. So I wasn't very good at that. But
I think she also does the nose itch thing when she gets insecure. And that's something people will commonly do is their nose will itch or something will itch when they're not telling the truth about something. I think that happens for me too. Not if I'm like not telling the truth, but if I'm feeling awkward or like really self-conscious about something that I'm sharing, my nose will get tickly. Love you. But I find it very interesting that she started off her career with lying, basically. I'm sure there's probably been a lot of well-meaning individuals who have fudged their way into things a little bit and pretended to be someone that they weren't. But, I mean, A, that's really not okay. But B, it's very interesting that it has been made very clear that she has not been a truthful individual. If everything we're seeing is accurate, she's been very, very untruthful for, like, her entire public life. And she even is admitting to it openly now to try to get her career started. So it's just crazy.
But yeah, I went to New York and I started performing and then started traveling kind of everywhere in small basements of clubs and anywhere, back rooms at restaurants. I would kind of just perform anywhere that I could because I was trained in theater and opera and, you know, that kind of stuff. I was like, I don't know what to do with this viral video. That's not a career, the internet. Mm-hmm. So I've got to make a live show out of this because that was the only kind of job that I understood. So I never thought money would come from being a social media person. So I traveled and I performed and
Yeah, you weren't like, I'm going to make money on YouTube now. You were like,
Certainly
I
not.
need to now create a one-woman show.
yeah, so I created a one-woman show. I was working at Disneyland and I was working at a restaurant called Macaroni Grill and I was working
And I mean, to be fair, unfortunately, from what I understand from oatmeal from creators that have been successful on the platform. YouTube is very unpredictable, I think, in how they market videos and the overall expectation of videos, what's okay, what's not, what format is best used, what format should not be used. I think I've heard it's always changing. So, I mean, I can't blame her for not assuming she could make a career originally off of it.
For a princess party where on the weekends I would dress up like a princess and go to little girls' birthday parties, which is essentially you're a babysitter, but you're just dressed like a princess. So it's like miserable.
Amazing job. Yeah.
It was amazingly not fun. It was
What do
hot.
you make being a...
I made it. I don't remember. It was not a lot, but I feel like I would work the entire day and make like 40 or 50 bucks.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It was more for clout.
No, it was for money. I'm like, I needed the money.
Not princess clout?
No, it was not for princess
Credits?
clout. I played Belle and Jasmine. Those are my girls.
I was going to say, she absolutely looks like a Belle, I must say. Especially here, because she was healthier here, because this is before she went through her self-pitying spiral of, oh no, everyone hates me for no reason. So she looks healthier-ish here, and I think she would have made a really good Belle.
Anyway,
I mean, well, actually, that was way in her past, but even here, I could see her doing it.
I also worked at Disneyland in the parades. I sang in the parade. So I would work my butt off at all these different jobs, saving money, and then use the money to buy a plane ticket to London or San Francisco or Miami or Utah, or wherever I was going, and
How old
perform.
are you? I can't believe you're doing this.
22.
Wow.
And eventually I got an agent, and, he started helping me.
He may, I mean, it's interesting because sorry, I just snorted. His tonality is very sarcastic. And some people, that just is their baseline. So maybe he seems to not really care about things when he does, but I'm more inclined to believe that he did find it impressive that she was doing all these things in her very early 20s, but was less so enamored with the, she's a star, because like he's an actor too, so he's probably just like, good for you. This is normal. I don't know.
He helped me to learn that I could make money performing, which was crazy. And
Agents will do that.
and he also,
That seems to be their focus.
Yeah. But then I also figured out how to make money on YouTube as well. So
Okay.
that was nice once that started happening. But then anyway, I started getting more popular online, and then lots of fun things started happening in my career. Since then I've written books, and I wrote a Netflix original series.
I've heard of that.
Have you heard of it?
The
It's called Haters
the
Back Off.
concept of the Netflix original series.
Yeah, so that was crazy because now I feel like there's probably 10,000 Netflix original series out. But when my show was picked up, they only had like 8 or something. Like they had like, you could count them on 2 hands.
Yeah, it was
when
not a lot of other originals.
it was like
a
Orange
really
is the
big
New
deal.
Black
Yeah.
and like a couple other, I can't remember. But
So yet again, even at the very start, before her entire life was upended, she was trying to stress how she was the special one. I did this when not many other people were doing it. I did this in a way not many other people could or would. Look at me, look at me, look at me. Poor Eric's just getting dragged along. But he's trying to be sportive.
Orange is the New Black, like pretty much it. Like it was before Stranger Things and all that, and
it was crazy.
What was like
So,
before Stranger Things?
That was really exciting and really crazy. So that was very exciting. I got to do that, and world tours. I've traveled kind of everywhere performing, and I've gotten to be on tons of fun talk shows and all kinds of crazy stuff. I don't even know. Oh, I got to be on Broadway.
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels weird just like...
How did she almost forget Broadway? See, that's what I find so interesting about this particular episode is that she was in the midst of success then. She still talks about all these things now after she claimed she wanted to end everything. So it's just like this enrapture is being enraptured. Her own being enraptured with her own success has not stopped whether she's in the middle of success or not. She just loves to talk about everything that she's done. I mean, Erik, I don't know. I hope Erik gets a moment to talk about himself in this. Am I convinced he will? No. We'll see.
Talking about like things that you've gotten to do
crazy.
in your life. But my career's been kind of crazy. And it's all because I was like joking around in college and pretending like I was a horrible singer online, like a cocky, obnoxious girl. And now it's my career.
because you're super talented, I would add to
Well,
that.
Thank you. But I don't know. That's crazy. So that's kind of my origin story. But now, in the last couple of years, my main channel, like of me, that's what I mean by that. Miranda was always popular, but now it feels as though like people are interested in me as well, which is bizarre. So like now I have people who are following my life, and that kind of started happening. It really blew up when I got preggers, thanks to this guy.
Yeah, no, not. I mean, there may have been an element where she was just like, "Wow, this is different," but we all know for a fact that she desperately wanted people to be obsessed with her. I don't know where she was talking about it, but there was some red carpet where people didn't know or care who she was until she dressed herself as Miranda, which also, crazily enough, she came with all of the Miranda getup and from the start planned on walking as both herself and Miranda. I can't label anyone officially with anything, but that seems very narcissistic to me. Narcissistic. Sorry. So the fact that she's just like, yeah, it was just so weird that people wanted to watch about my life. It's like, no, you clawed your way into people wanting to know more about your life.
Stockland bump, we call it.
The Stockland bump gave me a Stockland bump in views. So I got preggers and I had a kid, and he's still around. He's 2. And that's kind of our life.
The one with the lipstick. That's what I say. People are like, who's
Me?
Yeah, like who's your?
You say that to people?
The one, if I'm like, well, you might. She did this character. I don't know, like, or does this character. You know, like the one with the lipstick. And then people are like, oh yeah, right? Like people know.
Yeah.
Like it's funny. And
So weird.
And now, well, I guess you can't really walk down the street anymore. But when we used to walk down the street, people were like, oh my god.
Yeah, we don't go anywhere now. Pandemic
Oh my
things.
god, it's Miranda Sings.
Yeah, it's been a crazy fun career, and that's kind of the overview of it all. But yeah, it's been weird going from like just joking around online, hoping to make it someday on Broadway or as a performer, as a singer in any sort of way, and then making a career and a living off of singing terribly, and now having millions and millions of people.
Did you mention that you're like a trained vocalist? Like,
You know, that's interesting. I wonder if it's like... I wonder if there's bitterness inside of her for the fact that she could only find success not showcasing really the dexterity of her talents for the most part. I bet she probably kind of hates that, but is willing to put up with it as long as it's what gets her into the spotlight. Like, even though it wasn't at that time bad attention, it was still good attention. It's like in her mind, it may have almost been like bad attention is still attention. Like, even though people adore this character that I hate, that I made off of people that I hate, and I never wanted to be this person, they love me. So that attention is still good attention. I don't know. It's interesting.
classically trained singer, which maybe makes it so you can sing badly, like you drop. You know, you've explained that to me, like how hard it is to sing bad.
Well,
like
yeah,
that.
I started doing the Miranda stuff because in college I was a vocal performance major and I was trained classically. So then, and you have, when you're a music major, any music majors out there will understand this, but like you have 1,000 classes and they're all worth either 1 or 0 credits. So you're in school from 8 in the morning until like at least 8 at night. Like the college is not a fun time for a music major. Like there's no time for fun. It's just a billion classes. Wow. So to cure myself of boredom in choir and things, I would sing just under the pitch or just above the pitch, like slightly, to piss off my friends around me and make them laugh. And so whenever people start asking me, how do you sing so off pitch so well as Miranda? It's because I had a lot of practice. So anyway, that's me. That's where I came from. If you want to know anything else about me, it's all on the internet somewhere because I have 3 different channels and millions of subscribers.
Oh, did you see
I hate talking
that?
about it because it sounds so braggy.
I couldn't read fast enough to confirm exactly what she was saying, but I think she was explaining why he was looking at his phone. Because heaven forbid, people think that my husband is ever bored with me. We can't have that.
And I'm so scarred because I've had people tell me when I talk about things in my career, like that I'm bragging. And so like, I'm so insecure about it. But anyway, if you want to see anything else about me, it's all on the internet somewhere. You can find it if you want more information.
So humble.
Yeah, how do you?
You know what I mean? Like, how do you explain,
yeah,
you have millions of followers without that sound? There's no way to say
followers, call them
millions
friends.
of friends. No, sure, but like.
But it says followers on the app.
I don't know. It also, anyway, who cares?
I would just, to be a fly on the wall to watch this relationship behind the closed doors where none of us have access to. I would just love to know what Erik has experienced and witnessed because I would guess, I don't know how far into their marriage they were here, a few years maybe? I would guess when he first got together with her, he didn't see her as like insufferably arrogant, but as time went on, he probably started seeing, oh wait, no, she really is very much all about herself, but for whatever reason, they still stayed together. And I kind of imagine that little comment of so humble was a little dig at him being like, yeah, you really need to pipe down. But I don't know.
Erik. I want to learn more about Erik here because I have always been very open and honest on the internet about my life, but Erik is super private. We are exact opposites when it comes to social media. I put everything on the internet, but Erik puts nothing on the internet. He is full of talent and full of anxiety.
I'm off the grid.
You are off the grid.
Yeah, that was
full of talent and full of anxiety. I hope that gets explained because Lord knows I would never introduce my husband to the World Wide Web saying, here's one nice thing and one not great thing. Why would you? Okay, whatever.
a culture shock of when we started hanging out and then eventually like being together. Like that was a very strange thing to like kind of wrap your head around. that people would be interested at all. Wouldn't know why, or like the attention that I definitely don't seek, which people maybe think is strange because I am an actor for a living.
So I should have been watching Colleen's blink rate, because blink rate is a common thing that body language people will pay attention to. Once you figure out what a person's normal blink rate is, then you can be like, okay, maybe they blink a little more, a little less than the average person. But once it gets faster than usual, then that usually indicates that something's making them nervous, uncomfortable, something or other. And I don't know if this was just happenstance or not, but I just glanced at her right after he was saying, like, I think genuinely was kind of baffled by the amount of attention they were getting. And I don't know that he went into life wanting that. I think just because people are actors doesn't mean that they want everyone to be obsessed with them. So I would believe that he wasn't necessarily one of those kinds of people, and it was truly a culture shock for him. But when he, from his perspective, was saying, yeah, it was really bizarre, she blinked faster. And I feel like that's just her brain being like, no, it was my master plan working. I don't know.
Living, but that doesn't mean that I'm comfortable being myself necessarily. Like I think a lot of the reason that I became an actor is because I was scared to be myself or didn't know who, you know what I mean? Like I could hide, like I could more convincingly like express myself under the guise of being someone else in a different situation than what was my life or, insecurities and everything else. So it definitely was really strange that like, follow me. I'm like, why? You don't want me to follow you. What do you care? I don't know.
They do. But Erik here is...
What an interesting comparison. And I want to see if I can drag this down a little bit because you can see the play bar. Oh, wrong one. You know what? Oh, wait. Here. There we go. I can do this. An interesting comparison because I really would believe that Erik was not the kind of person who wanted tons of attention. So the fact that he's now legally joined with someone who's been obsessed with attention pretty much her whole life. Very, very fascinating. And also I would totally agree that it's probably very common for theater kids and acting kids, whether or not they come off as super confident. I wouldn't say all, but there's probably a lot of them that really are struggling to find identity and purpose and place. And theater is the place where they can, at least for a brief period of time, or movies, like this is a defined character, this is their defined place in the world, this is their defined purpose. It's probably kind of cathartic for people that are really struggling with that. So that makes sense.
Super talented and super amazing. I can't wait for you guys to get to know him. But he also is very full of anxiety, which is why
Can you hear that in my voice?
I'm excited to talk about our first sponsor today.
Oh, yay.
Because as you guys know, 2020 has been a lot, and we...
I would just like to mention that they don't have sponsors anymore. That's all I will say, but I'm going to try to skip through it.
Could all benefit from less stress and more sleep in our lives. It is so important to take care of ourselves. And now I am an insomniac, and I have used this, and I'm like, who is in here? And it's just the Calm app.
You didn't even hear what I said.
I did not. What did you
I
say?
said you walk in, and if ever I'm doing yoga and you walk in the room.
Oh my word. Look at the wall. I'm assuming that's fan art behind them. But like, seriously, how self-obsessed. I've noticed this with her other decor. It's just all about her character. How self-obsessed can you be to be filming a podcast with your husband with images of yourself? Tons of images of yourself that your adoring fans have sent you, just plastered all over. Like, that's gotta be weird. I mean, even if he is fully supportive of her, I feel like as a spouse, if my spouse were doing that, it would make me feel kind of minimized in a way, and like less than and less important when it's all them, feeding into their own sense of self-worth. I just wouldn't be comfortable with that as a spouse, and it just is very telling, I think, from her. But
My butt.
That is, well, I poke your butt no matter where we are in the house. If I walk past you, I poke your butt. Because I'm a woman.
What's your interest there? What are you going for? What's the end game?
The end game is that it annoys you. It's funny to me. I don't know why. Just this is something I need to do. If I walk past you, it's just something I need to do. Get
what was you gonna say?
into it. But
see, she is bossy and she likes to annoy. She really comes off as the kind of person who enjoys annoying the people closest to her. It's kind of like when boys are like 10 and they annoy the girls that they like. It's like their brain can't really put the puzzle pieces together for how to properly show someone they like them, but they do know they will get some kind of reaction if they annoy them, and they know very well how to annoy them, so they just choose the annoying side of things. It's almost like that's kind of what she's saying she does. It's just so fascinating.
You know what? I talked a lot about myself, and I feel like I bored everyone because everyone
No.
who
Yep.
already knows me already knows all the things I said. But a lot of people don't know about you. So I think now we should hear all about Mr. Stuglin and
How
where
did
he
you come
came
up with
from.
Miranda?
No, I'm serious.
Oh, okay.
Let's hear your roots. Where did you come from, sir?
I see. Yeah, it is uncomfortable.
See,
I'll tell you what,
isn't it? It's
so
I was
awkward.
born in Freehold, New Jersey, the same small hospital as Bruce Springsteen. Then my family moved to Connecticut when I was in elementary school, and I'm an actor. I think the way that acting or theater found me is that, you know, in like English classes, you are reading a specific book, and that's like the book of the month that you're going to get tested on, whatever. And you have to go around the room and read aloud sections. Like you go like paragraph by paragraph to desk by desk. I don't know
Yeah,
if everybody does
terrifying.
that.
Yes,
yeah.
it's the
Do you
worst
remember, like,
thing
your
in the
heart
world.
would kind of race when you were like
And
one
you
desk away.
Yeah, and you're not even listening to anyone else reading. You're just like reading your paragraph ahead of time to make sure that you know all the words. Yeah.
So in this English class, we were reading a Shakespeare play, and when it got to me, like I wasn't like trying to go for it or feel it or whatever. I was just like kind of saying it how I felt instinctively it should be said or what, you know what I mean? Maybe I was like feeling a little bit what I wasn't like trying like to, I don't know. It was just kind of like this natural thing that just happened. And I remember after that class, the English teacher, who happened to also be directing and casting the school play, was like, you should audition for this school play, which was a very strange idea to me. I didn't know anyone that was an actor. I didn't.
What was the play?
Like, it was Our Town.
Okay.
Are you familiar
Hold
with
on.
Our Town?
So I know I've mentioned this and I can't remember, but didn't she say she was never able to get into her school plays? Maybe I'm wrong on that. I could swear she said something like that. And if that was the case, or if it was difficult and she didn't get to be in as many as she wanted to be, can you imagine being forever married to a man who was just like, yeah, I was asked to be in the play. Like that much, I'm sure it just grates her to her core. Maybe not like consciously, but I'm sure deep down inside she's like, I just want that to be me. You know, anyway.
Only because
They do it in every high
I've heard you
school,
saying that
college.
you've done it.
Yeah. And I was like, it was during lacrosse season. I was a lacrosse player. And I was like, they're like, you should audition. I was like, no, thanks. And then the next day they were like, you should come to the callback. And I was like, no, thanks. And then the next day, the cast sheet.
She look at her laugh. I mean, it could have been a genuine laugh. I don't know, but I could also see it being like, "You're so cute. You like totally pushed off what I've been crawling and scrambling my way to get to my entire life, and people were begging you to do it, and you said no. I hate you."
Went up, and I was the lead in the play, and they
Wait,
kind of. I
what?
know people were not happy.
She's so
and-
jealous.
When you said you wouldn't go, they cast you. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, he
Oh,
just kind of
I
was
see.
like,
What if he
and then
said no?
Well, then he kind of convinced me that this was like a good, and thank God he did. Like, what an amazing person this was that then gave me that opportunity, and like, and
Is this
I
the
kind of
theater
found
director
that I
this
had to-
passion. No, this was in high.
I don't know if the mic will pick it up, but if you hear my grumbling stomach, I'm really sorry. It's oatmeal and I have digestive issues, so I hope it's not really loud.
High school. This
Oh,
was,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I had done like a community theater play like when I was a little kid, like during the summer, because my parents wanted me out of the house and not just sitting there playing video games. But like, yeah, it's just something. In any case, like that's when I was like, oh, this is my passion. I'm going to try and do this, and I'm going to audition to do this in schools and go to acting school. And I ended up out here and taking acting classes and finding representation and being on television for a few years in different things, killing different people on different television
Yeah, you're
shows,
usually
being a
if
creep.
you've seen a serial killer or a creep on a TV show, it's probably my husband. But
And
you
that's
had
how I
done
met
he'd
you.
done a bunch of stuff prior to that.
That
he
is so
Yeah.
funny.
like he came out here. He's like
He
the
does
guy.
have, and I don't mean this to be unkind because I'm sure there's wonderful, wonderful people out there with very dark eyes, but he has those really, really dark brown eyes that are like sometimes almost creepy, depending. So I think his facial structure would probably be excellent for a character like that. But not saying people with really dark brown eyes are terrible people. You're wonderful, wonderful. Sorry, hope that wasn't insulting. It's just sometimes it's like, wow, is that even dark brown or is that black? But
Everyone hates because he literally came out here and he worked his butt off and auditioned a bunch, but like he booked a series regular in an ABC show called Mistresses.
Yeah, my first job
and-
was just a guest star on
Oh yeah, on Vampire
Diaries. But
Diaries.
then the second job I booked was a series regular on an ABC show. Yeah,
And he was a series regular on a show called Stalker. And I'm trying to remember all the things you've done. because you've done a bajillion things.
They got IMDb for that.
Yeah, if you want to go find,
Another angle to look at the whole Colleen thing from, I mean, I want to believe she is capable of some level of love and some level of connection to people. I want to believe she actually was in some ways drawn to him and actually appreciated him for him in some ways. So I don't want to say that I think absolutely everything she's done is solely to help herself. But I'm realizing his level of success, even if it wasn't necessarily like massive success, but his level of success that he had, given that I think supposedly there may have been some crossover with her with him versus her with her husband, she may have felt like he would be a good sidekick to get to where she wanted to go in life. So she may have liked his level of success as well. Like it might make her jealous. I wouldn't be surprised if it did. But it could also be like, but this can benefit me because he's been successful in the film industry and I would like more success in the film industry. So cool. I don't know. Just interesting.
He's literally, every day I get tweeted like, I just saw your husband on Criminal Minds. I just saw your husband on the show Lucifer. I just saw your, like every day someone sees him on some TV show. He's very talented. So yeah, then he came and auditioned for my show and I was like, he's jealous. Perfect for this role. And so then he got the part and we did 2 seasons of that show. And even since then, he's done a bajillion jobs.
And that's where they met?
And I'm still doing Miranda. Why did I say it like Miranda? I hate myself.
No, that's good. That's
yeah, that's where Mr. Stockland comes from. That's his story.
I do feel like there is a level of bitterness deep underneath. I could be wrong, but it surprises me because I never knew that. I feel like if she could have her way, Miranda would not be the thing that people knew her for. But because it is the thing that people know her for and she can't stand to not be known, she will cling to Miranda. Interesting.
And now he's a father. And a lover.
Stop. Yeah, I'm working right now, which is really, really
crazy.
Weird. Really intense. Like, I'm actually supposed to go back to work in a week, but I am COVID tested 6 separate times leading up to that, as well as the rest of the crew and cast, to make sure that there's some sort of safe bubble and everyone's in face shields and masks. And
for one of my jobs, I had to COVID test every week. And I know that wasn't uncommon for people. And it was just like during my lunch break, I would just leave early and do my COVID test, then take my lunch break. It's just like, oh my gosh, had to make sure to get the results in by a certain day of the week. And it's just, I had to schedule it. Ugh, not fun times.
And there's hand sanitizer stations and hand washing stations and all these kind of like go in this way and go out this way and don't come within 6 feet, even though you kind of have to be when you're shooting. There's like safety meetings you have to have. There's not, I don't know if I've told you this, there's not like door handles on doors anymore. And I wonder if this is a thing of the future. There's kind of like this plate at the bottom that you kind of have to pull with your foot.
Okay.
So at the bottom of the door?
At the bottom of the door, there's like a metal plate that kind of hooks up a little bit and you kind of with your foot, it's really awkward, especially when someone's trying to walk in behind you too. To open the door with your foot, it's really, they're doing the best they can. I hope it's safe. I have to knock on wood now.
I also just noticed, I think they are sitting much more closely together, which obviously this is a different setup, but I wonder if their closeness to each other is an indicator of anything. Interesting.
But yeah, it's like going to the set of the movie Contagion and then filming something else. It's really, and I only take my mask off literally when they're like, all right, and rolling, take your mask off, and they're like, action, and then they're like, cut, and then you put your mask back on.
Yeah, I
It's
remember
really freaky.
when he got home the first day of shooting during a pandemic, because he's been on a majillion sets, but like the first time he shot during this pandemic, he got home, he was like, it was so weird because you're hanging out with these people, you're about to do a scene with them, and everyone's wearing a mask, and you've been talking to them kind of throughout the day, getting to know them. And then they take off their masks right at action and you're seeing their face for the first time and then you have to act with them. But he said like it was so weird because his brain had like made up the rest of their face since
your brain fills in the blanks. Your brain's like, oh, the bottom half of their face is going to look like this.
And then they take off their mask and you're like, that's not the person I thought he looked like. And look.
Isn't that crazy? I would see memes that were supposed to be more on the funny end of like, oh, that is not what I expected, But isn't that crazy that your brain will naturally do that and just assume that it knows what it's filling in? And honestly, people's attractiveness can get higher or lower based on, what part of the face you may or may not be able to see. It's interesting. It's very interesting.
Like that is so wild.
There's other people I've been working with for 2 months. I don't know what their face looks like crew members who they don't take off their mask. I don't know what they look like.
But has your brain made up?
I know the stories of their personal lives.
Could you guess? Like, are you like they have thin lips or they have facial hair? They have I wonder if your brain is like subconsciously making up the rest of their face. Anyway, it's pretty crazy that
I should say that I'm not complaining about I mean, it's just a crazy work environment. I know there's people out there that are going to work in way worse circumstances,
totally,
like frontline workers at hospitals and grocery stores and everything else. So I don't mean to sound like I'm complaining. I'm just saying that it is very
just weird.
strange that California is deemed.
I have so much respect for anyone who worked in hospitals and still is working in hospitals post-COVID. Like, mad props to you.
Working on TV, an essential business even in lockdown. But like, thank you to everyone that's actually has a scary, dangerous job. I don't know. I don't want to sound like I was complaining about.
No, I don't think that it comes off that way.
I'm
I think
grateful
that
to be there.
just explaining how weird it is. I mean, Hollywood's already a weird place to work. It's a weird place to have a career, and everyone's already curious about like what's it like on a set or whatever. And it is weird and crazy on a set. But to add this element, like I've worked on sets and I'm like, what? You do what? Like everyone wears face shields and masks and he has to stay in his trailer unless he has to be on set and he's not allowed to. There's all these crazy
really
rules.
stressful.
People or talk to, it's really
weird.
What a weird time.
Yeah. But I will say that this has added a lot of extra stress to your life. I feel like you already get pretty anxious and stressed out in general in life.
Is that the episode title? Is how stressed and anxious Erik is?
Well, no, it's true.
I can't tell if it's kind of an insult from her or if she just really does not understand the concept of filtering your words. Time and place. Time and place, that is a huge thing. Maybe you can mention that Erik is super anxious if you're with close friends or close family and you're maybe talking about that. Randomly mentioning it on an intro video, letting the world know who this man is. More than once. No wonder he's just like, is that going to be the title of this video? Like, really? Like, the poor guy.
I feel like the number one thing that you've needed throughout this time in life is sleep. So that brings me to our next sponsor. Basically, we love sleep.
Sponsors.
Bring them on the bed.
Okay.
So there are also many great unboxing videos. You don't love it, but you will love it because it's amazing. So Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders
And let me stress, I'm using YouTube, so they're not getting any kind of money from me watching this video with their sponsors.
and 2 free pillows for our listeners at Helix.
I live here.
See, Erik thinks there
You're
are
up to
things.
some weird stuff.
See, listen, Erik, he's very private, and a lot of you don't know much about him out there, but I'm not kidding. I've been on the internet for over 10 years. I talk about everything. I talk about my mental health. I talk about issues with my body that in areas most people wouldn't talk about. I talk about every struggle I go through.
Yeah, that most people don't talk about because most people shouldn't be talking about. Time and place, there are times where I do think it's appropriate to have very TMI kind of conversations about body issues, but she wouldn't do it generally, I don't think, in like a solely helpful way. It comes from a woman who's more than happy to literally have potty humor and literally cross lines of, this is technically adult humor, but I'm still going to market it to people that are just barely not young little kids anymore. But if young kids see it, well, that's the parents' fault. So she doesn't understand the don't share this here, share it here, or not at all.
You laugh.
I cry constantly. I mean, I'm a hot mess on the internet. And so I feel like everything is out there. I feel like I've talked about every story, everything.
You love that.
I
and
do.
I love that about you, that you're just so open and you share.
Of course I love it. But he thinks that he knows things that I have not shared with the internet already, which I think is hilarious because I know you don't watch all my videos.
I want to, but so I wrote down 5 things that I think that like even your most diehard fans, followers wouldn't know about you, but maybe that's not true. Maybe they'll like find it.
I don't know. But I also, because you told me you're going to do this, so I did it for you too. I wrote down 5 things that.
This was very foreboding for Colleen because boy, have we found out a lot of things that we didn't know. Interesting. Oops.
Since people don't really know you, it's just like fun facts about you that people wouldn't guess about you.
Oh,
you know
twist.
what I mean? A twist.
All
right, so let's hear what these things are.
I wrote them
Mr.
down.
Stocklin. This man thinks that he has thought of things I have not shared with the internet yet. So
maybe you have. I don't know, because I don't necessarily watch all. There's too much content. How can I watch it all?
I know.
So I don't know what exactly.
He acted pretty confident before we recorded this. He's like,
no one will know anything
about you.
You don't wear shoes ever.
That's
you
true.
consider them to be foot prisons. It's like Woodstock every day. Your calluses must be insane anywhere you go.
What?
Any calluses above your feet from just walking around the streets of Los Angeles with no shoes on. Anywhere you go, you immediately take your shoes off.
Yes.
You get into a car, take your shoes off. It's so strange.
I've taken
you know how
my
many pairs
shoes.
of shoes are in
Guess
our car
what?
right now?
Movie theaters, shoes off. Airplanes, shoes
Airplane
off.
shoes off. The next thing I wrote down is
award shows. I've taken my shoes off. I've gone to the People's Choice Awards. I've gone to the Kids' Choice Awards. Like, I've gone to so many different award shows and taken my shoes off sitting.
He so badly wanted to move on, and she would not let him. She's like, nope, I must share the fact that at the award shows that I would like you all to remember that I have been to, I have taken my shoes off there too. Guys, Eric, shut up. Guys, I've taken my shoes off at award shows.
My seat.
Well, the next thing I wrote down when you said airplanes,
It's like, moving
I swear
on.
I've seen you go to the bathroom on a plane with no shoes on, and that's gross.
That's disgusting.
I have, and I agree, that is disgusting. But here's the thing. I have been like this since I was a very, very, very little girl. By the way, if you are watching on YouTube right now, for our listeners at home, you don't know what I'm about to talk about, but for anyone who saw on YouTube, we have a YouTube channel.
did I just do a
Eric just
thing?
like very aggressively snapped and like looked furious.
It wasn't our kid. It wasn't our 2-year-old. It was the cat.
Entered the room and he was very angry at the cat. So anyway, since I was a little girl, I've always done this. Like, I never wore shoes as a kid. I grew up in a beach town, Santa Barbara. Like, never wore shoes. I hate shoes. The only shoes I owned as like a teen, I think, were flip-flops. I would walk around high school with no shoes on, like all the time.
Is this like a California thing?
I don't know. It's a me thing, I guess, but that is true. I wonder how many people knew that. But anyway, what's the next one?
You think that was pretty good though? That like maybe
Very good.
people
What's
know?
next?
It is my belief, through evidence, that you use no fewer than 3 towels to dry off after every shower.
Wait, what?
Do you use multiple towels to dry off after you take a shower?
I use one.
Why then, after you shower, are there like 8 towels on the ground and wet every time?
I think you're talking about your own towel.
No.
I have never used more than one towel. Maybe in high school I'd use one for like around my body and one for my hair, but
I think
now
you use like one in your head.
I don't. That is actually not true. I use one
I'll
towel.
wash the towels,
because
I'll put them away, you'll take a shower, and then there'll be 3 wet towels just on the floor,
Oh no.
spread around the bathroom.
Oh no, you're delusional.
Oh, okay.
Listen, love, this is crazy because how often do I shower? Literally never.
Oh, right.
And so
Oh, it's me.
It is
I'm
you.
doing
Love,
it.
I love you so much, but it's you. I only use one towel because I dry my
That's
body.
disgusting.
And then I use it on my hair. And then right when I get out of the shower, I
You
put on
use your
clothes.
body towel on your hair?
Yes.
So, could this be Eric forgetting that he left the towels on the floor? Because I would certainly think that he would have known that he did that. So wouldn't it make more sense that she was the one? I don't know. Why do we care? I don't know why we care, but apparently we do.
Yes, I do.
That's crazy.
Disgusting, right? Like
I'm kidding, obviously.
I know, but I'm saying like wow.
You have probably driven no more than 50 miles yourself in the 4 years I've known you.
That's true, and I think
Wow.
maybe my viewers would know that. I always
So
talk
you
about-
just don't
I hate
drive?
driving. Yeah, like people know I hate driving.
You don't drive anywhere.
I don't drive. I hate driving.
Pre-pandemic.
Like I lost my license for 4 years. Like I just got it again. Like I didn't have a license for 4 years because I was like, don't need it. I don't drive.
So they.
Wow. I don't like driving either. I've forced myself to get used to it because it's the only way to be able to do life anymore, it kind of feels like. And I moved from Michigan to South Carolina, and that's someone who was like white knuckling the steering wheel during any of my driving lessons or tests or whatever. So I failed my first driving test because I couldn't parallel park very well. So then I moved to Charleston, where it's all parallel parking on the street, which is now why I use parking garages, because I'm too old to care. But anyway, that was a tangent.
You know that you think probably. Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
some people, but yeah, I don't drive. I hate it. I will not drive.
You're pretty,
Oh no.
if not prettier, without any makeup, especially when you're sleeping in the morning.
You are such a punk. You're being
Aw.
so mean.
No, I'm being serious.
That was facetious.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, it was like legit serious.
No, because I know you
Ugh.
make fun of how I sleep with my mouth open. So like, you
No,
don't-
I know, but I don't know. I wanted one to be like a sweet one, and
so you lied?
No, no, but I just think it's true, and sometimes
You know
I'll
what?
wake up because you sleep in. And I'll
Okay.
see you.
Are we
you'll
gonna
just
get?
be like?
Okay,
and I'm
listen.
like, gorgeous. You're what a fox.
Wait, time out a second though. This is so crazy. You're saying this.
That was a little like, you sleep in later than I do. So I have plenty of times to look at you drooling on your pillow, You late sleeper, you.
Day because one, it's a lie, but two, I was insecure
But also you're kind of pretty when you do it. Whatever.
about this today. I was like gonna go on a rant about it on my vlog because I talk about everything. How I feel so ugly without makeup. I feel disgusting without makeup.
But
Because-
see, I don't
listen,
think your fans do they
Wait,
see?
can I tell
don't
you?
think they see.
Yeah, well, they see me sometimes without makeup. Sometimes they do.
Look
But
at
not
her
really.
hand.
What's that bag? That dirty bag of makeup you're always carrying around?
Okay, but listen, this morning I FaceTime my mom. This is an example.
She is really, if you look at her body language right now, she's trying so hard to be like, stop, I want to say my thing. I'm going to say my thing. Stop talking. It hasn't changed much.
of why I think I'm ugly without makeup. And this is no shade to my mom. My mom's the most supportive, wonderful person, tells me I'm beautiful every day. Like, she's amazing. But I FaceTimed her this morning, and I wasn't wearing
So
a
that's not
drop
a
of makeup.
loving hand.
And I show Flynn, and then I flip the camera around to me, and then I flipped it back to Flynn, and she goes, wait, Colleen, turn it back to you. And I turned it back to me, and I was like, yeah. She's like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah. She's like, you look like you have black eyes. Did you get hurt? And I was like, no, I'm not wearing makeup. And she's like, oh, sorry. It was just like dark circles because like, that's what so anyway, that was very sweet of you because
I was going to say I am pretty lazy about removing eye makeup when I wear it. And sometimes I'll do a half-hearted attempt, but not really. So we just call it my raccoon eyes. And my husband's very sweet. He's like, I still think you're pretty with your raccoon eyes too. So anyway.
very ugly today. So.
Well, I meant I wasn't.
Thank you, darling.
I'm not lying.
That's very nice.
Last one. Favorite cheese? Goat. Learned that the other day.
Yeah, my favorite cheese is goat cheese. Okay,
Can
so
be good.
those are the
Garlic and
facts
herb.
that Erik came up with that he thinks no one knows about me, but I have some fun facts that you probably wouldn't guess about my
I think I
husband.
was only wrong about one.
Well, you were wrong about the shower towels. You were actually just
Oh, right.
discovering something about yourself.
I think I was
that-
right about one or two.
No, you were right about
The
them
goat
all.
cheese one.
Yeah, you were right about all of them. Well, except for the pretty or without makeup. That's an
no,
opinion.
I meant right in the sense that like your fans wouldn't know.
Oh yeah, yes. All right. So here's information about
he
my
did
husband
something
that
well.
you might not know. One, he has a shoe and jacket shopping obsession. Like you do. You are obsessed with
It's not like an
shopping.
obsession. It's just a
Lovey.
quest.
He's
I'm
always.
on an
I
endless
feel
quest for the perfect jacket.
Well, Frodo was also on a quest, and I'm pretty sure that could have been described as an obsession with a certain round object. But anyway, why did that sound questionably? I'm sorry, I said it that way.
And or a pair of
But here's the
sneakers
thing.
and
But
let me
he's.
live my life. I don't have anything else that's
I
fancy.
know. No one's shading you for it.
They're not even fancy.
But listen, you're on a quest for it, but you achieve the quest every week. You know what I mean? Like you're always like, they're the perfect shoe, or it's the perfect jacket.
I wish I wasn't wearing sneakers that arrived in the mail today. Look at how white the yeah.
Wait, these really did?
Yeah.
Lovey, you have those.
I know.
Oh my God.
Listen,
Okay.
yeah.
He loves good shoes and good jackets. Like those are his
Sneakers.
things.
They're
Like
Converse. They're
those are just Converse,
you're
correct?
saying like good shoes as if they're like Italian.
No, I'm just saying like
suede.
you love buying new shoes and you love buying jackets.
I'm on a quest.
He's on a quest. Erik is not ticklish,
What?
which is infuriating because I am extremely ticklish and I hate being tickled. Like I will kill you if you tickle me. It's not funny to me. It's not a joke. It's not like, oh, cute. That's wearing like I literally will
I've
punch you
never
in the
seen
face.
you. I've never been actually scared of you.
Yes,
Then
except-
then when I've tickled you and
Right.
I've experienced violence. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, what? I'm very curious what that means, but I will not ask. I'm not ticklish everywhere, but I am somewhat ticklish in certain areas, and my husband will try to do that, and I'm like, no, we're not. I mean, I'm nice about it, but I'm just like, please don't do that, because I don't like being tickled either. But.
Erik played the lead role in How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying.
I did.
So he was in a musical as a lead.
I was leading.
And
I had like
saw it.
15
It was
or
amazing.
15 or more songs in that show.
He's incredible in it. Erik doesn't
She
like
just skipped over that.
lettuce.
What's
He's the
point?
only person I've ever met that is like, let's have tacos.
No
Don't
lettuce.
let them put any lettuce. Like if we were to Taco Bell, like no lettuce.
I-
like
am on this podcast if only to talk about how there's no nutritional value to lettuce. Is there?
that is not
Just because it's
true.
good? I think it's
Some
just like
lettuce.
water in plant form.
Iceberg lettuce, yeah, but other lettuce has
Yeah.
lots of
Is there
nutritional.
other kinds?
There's tons of.
Oh, Erik. Oh, please tell me you know there's more than one kind. I do spinach. That's pretty much my one lettuce of choice because it also digests easier for me. But spinach is very good for you, Erik, and you can't really taste it. So if it's because you don't like the taste of lettuce, you should try spinach. If you put it in stuff, it's just very mild.
Romaine.
I'm not.
Like,
I'm
there's
not dabbling in the
spinach.
whole like lettuce genre. I don't
Wait,
care.
spinach is a lettuce. Is that a lettuce or is lettuce just
No, it's
lettuce?
spinach. Spinach is good.
Assume it
Wait,
is.
so is that not considered? What's
Spinach
considered
with some
lettuce?
goat cheese.
Okay. Anyway, he doesn't like lettuce. Never. Like hates
Let's
lettuce.
talk about that more.
Okay, one last thing. He's a skateboarder. Like he's like a dude who's like in high school. He
I
was
was
like
a
he
skater
was a
boy.
skater boy. Like that was Erik. Like ear pierced skater boy.
Chain ball necklace.
Oh, yeah.
Jenkos.
And can
remember
still-
Jenko pants?
I don't even know what that means.
Really?
Jenko?
He's like a couple years older than me. Yeah, they're like these big baggy pants.
Oh, I don't know brands. I like.
So my, like, not prediction, but, like, what I assume Erik probably was someone who had a lot of insecurities growing up, but also had, like, a few close friends. And he kind of gave off the vibe of, like, don't push me to like you. I will decide if I like you with time. Let me just kind of be my own little sort of emo self. But also, I really want people to understand me and see me for who I really truly am. So, theater. I feel like he's probably kind of a mix of all those things, if that makes any sense.
When we went to
I
Kmart.
had a belt that was like had a seatbelt buckle.
Oh, whoa.
Remember those
I
belts?
definitely remember that. That's wild. So that's amazing.
I can kickflip still to this day.
Oh my goodness. But anyway, yeah, that's an interesting fact about my hubby here is he's actually an incredible skateboarder.
know about
Because
that, no.
you are. Every time you get on a skateboard, I'm like very impressed because I literally can't even put one foot on it without
That's why you're
falling.
impressed, though, not because
No,
I'm
because you're
actually
really
good.
good. Well, I don't know what good is, I guess, but to me, you look like the best skateboarder in the universe. I didn't know that.
Hey, she complimented him. That's amazing, Colleen. You should do more of that. Sorry, squeaked.
About him for a really long time, and then one day he like told me he had his ear pierced, and I was like, "What?" And then I found out he was a skateboarder, and
Does that have anything to do with it?
you told me that. I don't know. It's like I don't know. It seems very skateboardery to have like a one pierced ear. That was very 90s skateboarder.
Yeah, I got
That's
it done
true,
at
not
a
too.
boardwalk.
That is so
Is that-
skateboardery.
Yeah, now you can picture it.
Yeah. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed those fun random facts about us. And now it is time for our next sponsor. We are so excited for the next sponsor. It is Apostrophe, a prescription
many.
skincare company for people who are ready to take. After my mom said I looked like I got punched in the face. But anyway. But yeah, we both were so impressed with the experience. It was so easy to the code RELAX at sign up and you'll get $15 off your dermatology visit. That's apostrophe.com/relax and use that code. What is it, love?
I'm thinking it's relaxed.
It is RELAX.
Wow, just kind of pausing to I didn't realize how many sponsors they had. And what a blow that was to her ego, except for the fact that she didn't allow it to teach her anything. She just dove further and further into her self-pitying tantrum. I don't know really what else to call it. I really do view her actions as a very sad, unfortunate tantrum of a child. Yeah, that really, losing these sponsors was probably really hard for her.
Use that code RELAX to get your dermatology visit for $15 off. I can't even think of a famous movie because I don't know
Famous
what
movies, famous actors.
Any famous movie, any famous actor, it gets so angry that I don't know who
Well,
these
it's
people are.
it's just in the public zeitgeist consciousness, you have to be aware of who these humans
Yeah,
are
why?
and these things.
Why?
I guess not if you're just running around barefoot in the
Using
the
every
gutters
towel
of
in
Santa
sight.
Barbara.
But anyway, yeah, I don't know any movies. So he came up with this game where he's going to say a famous line from a movie, and I have to finish it and guess what it's from. And I probably won't know any of them, but I hope they're not too hard. And then I'm going to sing a little bit of a musical theater song, and you have to finish the song. And they're very common, the ones
I have to finish this song?
I know every musical. I know every
gonna
musical.
sing.
I know every. Don't make me sing.
Don't sing.
I know every musical basically on the planet. I'm obsessed with music.
She's just always wanted the chance to show off her vocal talents, even now when she would do all the random Taylor Swift songs in her very sad, mopey videos. It's she just... On the one hand, I understand that people who are musically gifted like that is a release for them, and it's kind of their happy place. So I don't ever want to minimize the importance of people going through difficult times in life, finding something... Sorry, I'm trying to get... There we go. Finding something that just kind of creates a little bit of a sense of equilibrium. But I feel for her, it's always more than just that. It's let me show you how amazing I am. Let's not forget what I can do. Let me show you what I can do. It's kind of again, I just... Not to be insulting. Sorry, but it goes back to the little kid mentality of look what I can do. Look what I can do. Isn't that amazing? Aren't I amazing? Don't you love me? Isn't this cool? What else can I do to get to garner your love for me? Please, 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 please. She's just this eager little kid who just wants to show off herself all the time and what she can do and just wanting to be the best and the better than all the other little kids. And yeah, it's just interesting. Anyway, sorry.
Musical theater. It's the only thing I'll pay attention to and listen to like someone would a movie. So anyway.
I really enjoy musicals. Could not afford to go to them when I was...
Neither could I. It has nothing to do with being able to... I couldn't
don't know.
afford to go to Broadway.
I was the skater boy. I couldn't be riding around listening to the Sound of Music. I had to be
Don't blame
listening
your
to
lack
No
of
Effects
knowledge. No,
and
do not blame
Blink-182.
your lack of knowledge of musical theater on your income. That is wild. We had no income growing up.
I totally backtracked and changed to skateboarding.
Anyway, okay,
And
listen.
how cool I was.
Okay, just tell me. Okay, let's go. Let's play the game. So he's going to say a famous movie line, and I have to try to finish the line and or guess what it's from.
Okay.
I guess? Okay.
I'm going to make him an offer. He...
Can't refuse.
Whoa!
I knew that one.
How did you know that?
I have no idea. I've heard that before.
What's it from?
I have no idea.
Oh my God.
I didn't even know that was from a movie. I thought
Is
that
it
was just a thing
animated?
people said.
I'm going to
I'm
make
gonna
him
make
an
an
offer.
offer. Why are you guys...
I'm going to make
Oh,
him an offer.
Godfather?
What is happening? Why are you talking like
Is it that bad?
Well, no,
Oh, you don't
so-
know what I'm doing.
I didn't know it was from
What
a movie.
is that from?
I literally don't
Even
know.
with... With
Someone dying. I don't know. It's some deadly movie.
Even with... I've helped you with doing a probably very bad
I
impression of
have
the actor.
no idea what you're talking about. No, I didn't know it was from a movie. I thought that was just a phrase.
It's from The Godfather.
Oh, I have not seen that.
Okay.
And that was the...
His intonation made me think Godfather, which I have not watched. But the reason I thought it was animated was it Zootopia? I can't remember. There was some animated movie where they were a little shrew dude. It was supposed to be a spoof of the Godfather character, and I'm pretty sure the little shrew says, "I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse." So that's why I thought it was animated.
The Godfather himself, played by actor Marlon Brando.
Okay.
Heard that name?
No. You said it, I think, recently to me. But I thought it was Marlon Brando.
Is that not what I said?
Oh, you just said Marlo Brando.
No.
Oh, it's Marlon?
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, never heard of him.
Marloa.
Okay, no, I'm just kidding. It's Marlo.
Oh, okay. Here's the other thing is people think we did one YouTube video once where he kind of did this and he asked me who famous people were and people thought I was lying. Like people thought I was acting, which is hilarious.
Give me a little musical. You're going to sing a phrase of a musical song?
Oh, yes, so it's my turn. Okay, I'm going to sing.
And I have to finish.
These are all very easy. So if you don't get these, I will be shooketh to my core because these are very easy. Okay.
I'm there. Okay.
One
So not to
day
make you feel
more,
stupid.
Another day, another.
Destiny?
Another day, another.
Are you kidding?
I know the musical. It's that one. It's like the French
Mis.
Revolution, and
Yes.
they're all.
Do you know what it's called?
It's like Anne Hathaway's cut all her hair off and is crying.
Yes, but do you know what it's called?
Destiny.
Are you serious?
Hold on. I'm having a hard. I'm having
One
a
day
brum.
more, another day, another.
Destiny.
Yes, it's right. Yes, from Les Mis. Yes.
Les Mis. That's I knew it started with an M.
You did good. Okay, next one.
Okay. You're gonna need a bigger.
Boat?
Box? I don't know. You're gonna need a bigger bus?
Truck? Boat?
I don't know why I want to
Keep
to
going
be a
with
B word.
vehicles. Yeah. You're gonna
bus,
need a bigger
truck.
No.
Construction trucks.
You're
You're
gonna
gonna need a
need-
bigger excavator, dump truck.
Think of
car,
vehicle, but like it's not on the road.
motorcycle.
It's not a vehicle, but it's not on the road.
Wagon?
It's in the water. You're gonna
boat?
need a bigger.
You're gonna need a bigger
I don't know what
boat.
that's
Yeah.
from.
I don't know what that is.
from a movie.
Yeah, I know that, but I don't know what movie it is. I've never heard that before.
They're in a boat. They're gonna need a bigger one.
Okay, I still Jurassic Park.
Jaws.
Oh, I haven't seen Jaws. I've been on a
Oh.
ride though at Universal Studios.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You ever
Very
seen Jaws?
nice.
No.
Oh, it's one of those ones. You
Yeah,
gotta.
no, I have not seen that.
Okay.
All right, next one. Ready?
Sure.
This one's easy. Well, here, then I'll do this one. Come on, babe, why don't we paint the town and all that jazz? I'm gonna.
Gonna rule the.
Something around, dance around, mess around. I don't know.
Gonna rule the town. I'm gonna dance and stuff. Bob Fosse and Hanson.
You knew Bob Fosse. That's
Yeah.
good.
Well, I did cabaret when I was in college, but I never did Chicago, which I know that is from.
It is from Chicago. I'm going to rouge my knees and roll my stockings down.
That sounds dirty.
Yeah, so
Rouge
that's-
my knees.
Yeah, that's the lyric. I'm going to rouge my knees and roll
goodness.
my stockings down. That's the next one. Anyway.
All
Red
that
knees
jazz.
were a
Yeah,
thing
that part
back
comes
then.
next.
Yeah, so you got it wrong, but you knew the musical.
Yeah, but I think the score is now 2-1. I'm winning.
I don't know.
I think I'm winning. We'll have to do this again.
She does not want to look at that random cut. I would love to know how long of an argument they just had that they cut out about who was winning. I bet that's what happened there. Oh my gosh.
You had me at.
Hello.
What movie is that from?
I have no idea, but that's a
God.
famous thing people say. You had me at hello.
It's a
Harry Met
romance
Sally?
movie.
Is that movie?
Yeah, sure.
What's it from?
Sleep
No,
This is-
when Harry Met Sally, that's the one I'll have what she's having. It's like the famous line from that. It's from Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire?
Yeah.
I
Tom
don't know what
Cruise.
that one is.
No?
I thought Tom
I
Cruise.
thought is
Okay.
Jerry Maguire the one where there's like a bunch of people? I thought it was called Serendipity or
Show
something.
me the.
Money.
Also from Jerry Maguire.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a movie. Jerry Maguire. What's it about?
He's like a sports agent that
That sounds
has
awful.
a kind of moral crisis.
Okay.
I think it
I will
won an
never
Oscar
watch
for
that.
it. It's actually really good. Renee Zellweger.
Okay. You don't know it. Never heard of it. Never seen it. But I do know those things. See, here's the thing: is I have an advantage because these all sound like just like phrases people say. Anyway, ready for the next one?
Uh-huh.
And I am telling you, I'm not.
I'm not.
Come on, everyone knows this one. I'm doing really easy ones. These are like the most well-known songs. of
Everyone
all
who
time.
knows theater.
I'm not gonna. Give me it one word at a time.
I just did.
I know, but the next words.
That is all you need to do is know the one next word. This is
You're
one
only-
word. And I'm telling you, I'm
First
not
letter.
you G.
Go and sing it again.
And I'm telling you, I'm not.
Gonna.
Gonna
No,
stop.
it's not good.
Giving up.
Giving up.
I'm not going.
Yes. I'm not going. You don't know this song?
Going where?
You're the best man I'll ever know. You don't know this
This
song?
doesn't sound like it's from a musical. I feel like I know
Are
this song, but it's
you
not.
a lunatic? What is wrong with you? It's
I'm
like the
gonna
most famous
say-
musical theater song ever.
Is it from?
She is so
Are you
insulting.
serious?
Is it that ABBA one where they're all at a wedding on an island?
Absolutely not.
What's that one called?
Mamma Mia?
Yeah, is it from Mamma Mia?
I'm offended. Are you kidding?
Into the Woods. You always...
You're gonna love. You know the song?
You're gonna love me? Is that?
Love me. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I do recognize that. But also, I think she's genuinely offended. I don't think she's having fun anymore. I think she's literally mad that he doesn't know these musical songs. Poor Erik.
Oh my gosh,
I get it. That counts.
that was hurtful. Okay, next one.
No,
Tell
it's
me
not.
more.
It's not.
I don't think I won.
Okay.
I'll do one more though because it's fun. I just want to find a good one. Nobody puts baby.
In the corner. Dirty
In the
dancing.
bathtub? You always say something about baby in a bathtub. I think it's
Nobody puts baby.
See, he doesn't get mad at her.
It's
She
not in
doesn't
bathtub.
know.
No.
Nobody puts baby in timeout.
Nobody puts baby in corner.
What is that's not?
Never seen
Yeah.
Dirty Dancing?
No.
Colleen, everyone knows that. And also your camera died. But like, Colleen, how could you not know the line from Dirty Dancing? Everyone's familiar with that. Everyone knows about the lift above the head. It's a famous American movie. Like, Erik's not doing that. Because if you don't know it, you don't know it. And that's okay. Life will totally go on without either of them knowing any of these things. And it's totally okay. But she gets so butthurt by him not knowing musicals because that is what she's obsessed with. And if he doesn't reach that same level of obsession as her, it's kind of just wrong. Which, oh my gosh.
And that is not. Oh my. Hold on. I have to change my battery. Yeah, I know nothing about. I don't know Dirty Dancing. I've not seen that. I don't know anything about it.
Dirty
so.
Dancing is a story. It's an animated.
And like, when she's like, oh yeah, I haven't heard of it, don't know of it, it's not like, oh, interesting, we should watch that. She's like, you can tell she's like, don't know, don't care, moving on. But when it's her thing, it's, how do you not know this thing? It's the best thing ever. But if it's his thing, it's like, I don't know, whatever. We're seeing so much in this little clip.
Animated feature. It's like a dog and a cat fall in love with each other, but like one's from the dog
No.
world, one's
Okay.
from the cat
No,
world.
I'm not that stupid. I actually know that's not true because when I.
That's Aristocats.
Yeah, listen, I know that in Dirty Dancing he like lifts her up or something.
Ah.
There's a dance move that's famous from that movie. I know that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. This one.
You
This
should
is
know
for the.
this
This
one.
is for the win.
You'll know this
is
one.
for
If
the
you
win.
don't, I will be offended.
For the win.
For multiple
You're
reasons.
already offended.
Something has changed within me. Something is not the same.
I'm tired of playing by. Rules someone else. Is that? I can't hit
You
that.
gotta tell me what the words are.
The funny thing is, I have never watched Wicked. And I really want to watch Wicked. I keep on telling myself I'm going to watch Wicked, and I keep forgetting to find a way to watch Wicked. But I am familiar with at least the two, and I don't really know the words. But
I just
Something
did.
has changed.
I have to keep going for the whole song.
You didn't say. You said random words. Something has changed with me. Something
Because
is.
got
not
to
the same.
go. Got to change. Something has changed within me. Something is not the same. Mm-hmm. I'm tired of playing by the rules of someone else's game.
Pretty close, but wrong. And the reason I'm offended is because you have seen me perform this.
That's fine.
15,000
It's from
times.
Wicked. I got it. I win the game.
You didn't get it.
Play the game theme
Something
song.
has changed with me. Something is not the same. I'm through with playing by the rules of someone else's game.
he was so close. And she loves every single time he messes up. She's like, yep, that was wrong. That was wrong. That was wrong. She really, I think, did she say she's competitive? She's probably very competitive. But still, it's just like, lay off him. Anyway.
I said I'm tired. You said the
They
wrong
both
lyrics.
start with T.
No, you were
I'm
wrong.
gonna say count it.
Yeah, it's not counted.
I'm
you
also.
lose.
I win the game.
You do not win the game.
We'll see you next time on
You do not win the game.
Musicals
all right?
v Movies.
So listen, guys. We.
I see dead people.
This is going swimmingly. Can you imagine if they ever went into couples counseling? This is what they'd be seeing. You didn't win. I did win. You didn't win. I did win. That just sums it all up.
You know that one?
That's from Sixth Sense. But I've not
Okay.
seen it. But I know that he sees dead people, which is the like spoiler alert of the movie or something, right?
Who's the lead in that movie?
A kid. I don't know his name.
Well, who's the other?
I don't know.
Who's the dead person that
Oh,
he
it
sees?
was
Is it Harrison Ford?
Yeah.
Is it? Oh my God. I know
Haley
famous
Joel
people. Anyway, okay. Is it not?
No, it is.
I can't tell if you're joking or for real.
You said Harrison Ford, right?
Yes. Isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, he won an Oscar for it.
I can't tell if you're lying. Is it not him?
It's Harrison Ford
Which one is it not him?
and Steven Spielberg's Sixth Sense.
I can
And they
tell you're
both won
joking now.
Oscars. I'm not.
Is it Nicolas Cage? Which one is it?
It's
I don't
Nicolas
know.
Cage. You got it.
Tell me who it was.
Nicolas Cage.
I literally don't know. Okay, whatever. Who cares? I think it's Harrison Ford. I don't
Name
know.
one other Harrison Ford movie.
Movie. He was Indiana Jones.
And well, the full title of the movie.
Indiana Jones. What do you mean?
Okay.
What do you mean? The full title. It's called Indiana Jones.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know. But you're annoying me right now because I feel like you're like not telling me when I'm wrong.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Whatever. Listen. This is just one of the many fights we have in our relationship. This is the
Shocking.
worst type of fight we have.
shocking. One of the many. Yeah. Yeah, didn't guess that at all.
I was talking about movies and stuff, but one that used to be a big issue in our relationship was kitty litter. Litter and changing cat poo.
Used to be.
Used to be. Listen, because we have a wonderful sponsor to talk about today that has helped us with our little rivalry with cat litter.
Right.
Dreamland.
Right for it,
yeah, they were very excited about it. So give yourself there
In this
are cats.
relationship.
We are married.
Okay. They're
I'm sure we
two
haven't missed anything
large.
crucial.
They go to the bathroom a lot.
Right. Yeah, and
When was the last time you gave a little scoop, little trash, little?
okay, are you seriously calling me out like on the podcast right now in front of everyone?
Cut it out if you want to. You can edit it out. I'm sorry.
Or I can just leave.
I don't know how to. Lovey. Hello?
It's me. Is this the podcast place?
Yeah.
We all know what's coming. It's the Miranda voice. I can't believe they're making us watch this. Okay.
Hello.
Yes. How did you?
Hello, everybody. So basically,
I'm sorry.
Hello?
Lovey?
I don't know who that is, but apparently she probably did. Because she probably died from boredom. Because this is the most boring podcast I ever even saw. So lucky for you, I have come to rescue you. This is Miranda Sings to anyone listening here. Hello. I doubt anyone is listening. Because why would anyone listen this long to the most literal boring podcast I have ever heard in my freaking life?
You're probably right. Probably no one's listening to this point.
See, if you really thought it was the most boring podcast, you wouldn't keep doing it. You know that it's not stimulating, but I think you also feel like it's actually really great. Otherwise, it wouldn't be up. So, whatever. Sure, Colleen Miranda.
No one is listening right now.
Okay.
So, by chance, there is a singular human on this earth listening to the most boring podcast ever of uselessness. If you are listening, hello. You
Hello.
are a survivor. You're a true patriot.
I am.
You are a
You don't
hero.
want to call people that.
I am. I'm
Okay,
aware.
well, I do, because that is a patriot, someone who will sit and listen to that garbage. Let me tell you what. That was horrible. So
It
I figure
was.
since I am a famous
Not really.
singer, dancer, actor, model, magician, everything, I can be here
Sorry.
to
Who are you?
I literally already said, so you must have bored yourself to death as well, and you are no longer living if you can't hear, because I literally said I'm Miranda Sings. I'm Miranda Sings, famous, very famous, and now the one listener who was actually still holding on for dear life trying to get through the podcast was like, oh, a famous person. Now they're telling all their friends, come listen, there's a famous person on here, because you are a nobody.
Yeah, you do look familiar now that I.
No
You're
one
the one with the lipstick, right?
Wow.
no one
She's totally saying what she always wants to say, but won't as Colleen. To her husband, you're nobody. Now, of course, she's going to paint it as she's just this obnoxious character, and she'd never mean that. But you know what? I bet deep down inside, she looks at him and is like, you're nobody. I'm somebody. Or at least I used to be somebody. And one day I will be somebody again, compared to your nobodiness. I bet she thinks that deep down inside, especially when she's big mad about something.
has heard of you, first of all. So I don't know how you got on this thing. I have never heard of you before. And you're boring, to be honest. So I think that...
Like you're being.
What?
You're being-
You heard? Did you just say, I'm thinking
You're
of...
being serious.
You just said, I think beans.
this-
Are you thinking of
She
beans?
is being serious.
You need to not mumble. You literally just said, I think beans. So if you're thinking of beans, go eat
I
some
think
freaking
you've taken
beans.
this opportunity to
do what?
express to me.
You're
Is this therapy right now?
therapy.
Is this how?
No, this is
Oh,
not therapy.
sorry, I'm not
First of all,
breaking any
there's a thing
walls.
called, okay, so in the English language, we have something called a sentence. And when you finish a sentence, then it's a sentence. But if you just, and then you go,
Yeah,
that's not
I just-
sentences, and that's how you're talking.
Okay.
So that's not helpful because people don't understand English if you're not speaking at all.
Okay.
So when you just go, I think beans, you just sound like you might be hungry, you don't have education.
What do you? Is
So
there?
the interesting thing is, I don't remember him laughing. Maybe he did, and I just forgot. I don't remember him laughing at any other part of this episode, and I can't tell if she's genuinely making him laugh or if it's like a nervous laugh because she's now putting on the character that pays their bills, basically. So it's like, well, I can't diss my wife's character that has made her, whatever, a multimillionaire. I don't know. Maybe he's actually enjoying it. I know some couples do enjoy dissing each other. It's bizarre. It's bizarre, to say the least.
Do you have any experience
I don't
with
have beans.
Podcasts?
Pods? Now you want pods.
Could you show me how to make it not boring? How do I make it not boring? What do I need to do to?
Well, you should not be in it, and
okay,
neither
that's-
should the other one. It should just be me.
The other
because
one?
The girl who left. She was ticked off.
Yeah.
She was crying. She called you very really bad names.
What'd she say?
I cannot repeat them. I'm a woman of the Lord.
Oh, okay.
So I will not be participating in those sinful acts because, unlike her, I'm still planning to get to heaven someday.
Oh.
So basically, I would say you need more performing on here. So, whoa, everybody hits me. You just got 5 more listeners.
Well, I don't know. She before was singing songs for musicals, and then I think
I tuned out at that
really
point.
Great.
I was not. No one was listening to that. No one got
okay.
that far. You can't make a podcast and just talk about yourself. Like literally, so boring. Like talk about anything. Why do you think people talk about death and murders? And because that's interesting. Like oh, gruesome death. But like when you're like, oh, I was born in New Jersey on a summer day. It was a Wednesday, and I like.
See, she's very I feel like Taylor Swift does this too, and certain other celebrities. Like they can be very self-aware and almost make it sound like they recognize that they put themselves up on a pedestal that they don't deserve, but then their actions show otherwise. Like Taylor Swift might make comments that are kind of self-deprecating and make it seem like she has an honest view of her own humanity, but yet she's going on this huge tour that, granted, a lot of people are thrilled she's doing, but very, very much evidently showing the fact that she sees herself as the world's greatest performer, or wants to be seen as the world's greatest performer. So it's like, you can't really be that humble when you're doing these things. Same with Colleen. You can't say this podcast is super boring and no one's going to want to listen to it while still consistently uploading, while still making sure to come on as your character. Like, she doesn't really think it's boring. Otherwise she wouldn't be doing all this, but she knows some people will say that, and she's aware of what some people will say. So she's trying to, like, I think in a way it is a self-protective measure to throw out the insult before you receive it so that people don't have much to go off of. They're like, I think her hope would be, well, now they can't tell me it's boring because I've already said it's boring. But obviously that doesn't work like that because we'll just tell you it's boring.
Like to skateboard, like literally no one cares.
Okay.
No one cares about that.
Okay.
So don't ever do that again.
Okay.
You can talk about me more.
Talk about you more.
Yes, you can have me on to perform.
Well, you did come up. You are the other woman, so you did come up.
What do you mean?
Sorry, my leg just touched your
Yeah,
leg.
do not touch me. Okay. Are you a married man?
Mm-hmm.
Where's your ring? Where's your ring, sir? Tell me.
It's pandemic, so I'm constantly washing my hands and putting on hand
Do not
sanitizer, and
interrupt
so
the
like my
lady.
knuckles are bleeding from
Do not
washing my
interrupt the
hands
lady.
so much.
Riddle me
That's why my
this.
ring's not on right now. If it was
Riddle me
listening.
this.
She noticed in his reaction. That was a real life oh snap. Mm-hmm.
Where's art thou ring? Because I heard you talking about Shakespeare. You should know what I just said. Because I was just speaking
Riddle
Shakespearean.
me this.
Riddle me this, I said. I did not say that bad word. It's called a chesticle, by the way.
I said this.
Okay.
This is what comes out of the chesticle.
Can we stop talking about this? There are children listening. Okay? Listen.
Oh
You're the
my
one who
gosh.
You are not wearing a ring, which means you're not married. I know this because I read it in comments on YouTube videos of you and of the other girl. Oh, not wearing a ring. Looking like there's trouble in paradise. So,
Is that
yes,
does that interest
I've
you
seen
that I'm not wearing a ring?
no, I'm just saying.
Okay,
Are
'cause
you
it
really?
sounds like you're like, oh, you're not wearing a ring.
I'm not interested. I'm just saying. Trouble in paradise, sir. Are you guys really married? Are you liars? Seems like you might be liars. Is this podcast to save your reputation? Because
Wow. So this is her. This is her actually being very insecure. Everything's fine. This is her being really insecure over those comments asking about their relationship, but she's guising her insecurity in this character and trying to have a certain amount of like authority over these commenters. But yeah, she doesn't like it. She doesn't like that people are saying that.
What kind
love.
of?
Now you're hitting on me? Call me love? What are you hitting on me now? Why are you acting like we never?
I'm like gonna have a hard time going to sleep tonight on my Helix mattress, thinking about how
whites.
like if you're like trying to secretly like slip in some truth.
Truth whites.
I don't know.
Are you about to tell the truth? Because seems though you're about to tell me why you're not wearing a ring, sir. What was that? Seems like you mumbled again. You went, heeny.
Well,
Go eat some beans.
okay, I will. And I'm so glad you're here because we needed an outro song. We didn't have one.
Okay.
So I hear that you're a professional singer.
You hear? I literally
Dancer.
just told
Yeah,
you that.
I heard.
So you heard from,
Well,
from
I mean, I
me,
hear it. Like,
me
I heard
telling you that
singing.
5 minutes
So
ago.
I wondered if you could sing something now, and that
So now, not only are you a liar about marriage, not only are you inappropriate because you hit on me, but now you're lazy because you're
your
like,
leg touched my leg, and then you kept saying like no ring, huh?
I literally
I-
never touch your leg in my life. Never would I ever touch a man's thigh. It's a forbidden land. Second of all, you are lazy because you're like, oh, this is my podcast. Oh, how about you do the work? You write the song.
Oh, I just figured we're so lucky to have you here.
So then making me work for free?
No, I mean,
Do
I
you know how much
asked. It
get
would be
paid?
a privilege. It would be an honor. I am a huge.
I feel like this was a pseudo-fake argument between a real human and a character that has now turned into a real argument between a real human and another real human that's wearing way too much lipstick.
Huge fan.
Well, lucky for you, it's a duet. So
Okay.
I did write a song,
All right.
and it's a duet.
Do you want me to do the
There
lows?
is no
Or the-
in the
Do
song.
you want me to do the lows or the?
See, here's the thing you're doing again where you're not finishing a sentence. What? Do you want me to do the lows
Well, you-
or the? See, that's a.
You'll tell me what you want me to do.
Again.
If it's a duet.
Finishing sentences is helpful when doing a podcast.
She will
So
not
I already
let
wrote a song.
him
Actually, I assume this will
not
happen.
hear her say
So
that.
this is
Oh, you
the
did?
this is
Okay.
a duet. Here it goes. First of all, thank you to our wonderful sponsors tonight for sponsoring us today. Also, I am so sorry for everyone who has listened to this and the lives that we have lost from the boredom of it.
Oh God.
And here is the outro. It will be the last outro because there's no way anyone will listen to a second episode. So here it goes.
Except for me.
No, you're not supposed to hum there. Oh, thank you for listening to Relax. That's your line.
Erik and
No,
Colleen.
No. Okay, try it. Oh, thank you for listening to Relax.
Really happy that you listened to Relax.
It was a great podcast.
Podcast.
He just rhymed podcast with podcast. He also rhymed relax with relax. He is not a very smart lad. So please do not ever give him a compliment again because he will just make it and think he's good when he's not. So do not do that again. But thank you for listening to Relax.
Okay, this is just making my brain melt. And I love the fact that she wrapped up their very first podcast with an underhanded insult that she's claiming, I'm sure, is simply her teasing him in the way they like to tease each other. Do I believe that? Not at all. Anyway, we are patriots for having made it through this. She herself said it, and I fully agree. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you again later. Okay, bye.